What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
What's up, everyone?
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. All right, guys. So we have a good episode for you guys. It's going to be great. For the Star Wars fans, okay, you guys are going to be eating good today because we got a few conversations, a few topics of, some very triggering things or, some very nice things that is going to make you very happy about Star Wars. Like I said, Josh, do you have anything to say before we jump into these Star Wars topics? I know you're kind of the one that gets very, very passionate about his voice in Star Wars.
I don't know. I guess I just have to see what it is. I think I've only seen, or I don't know what you have, but if anything on Twitter is proven fruitful, it's got to involve. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
All right.
There'd be a number of things.
We'll start
Star
off
Wars fans
slow.
are always upset about something.
All right, we'll start off slow and we'll talk about could be a good thing or a potential imminent implosion to happen. So, one thing that we heard is that we're getting a return of not only Hayden Christensen, but Mark Hamill for this new Daisy Ridley Star Wars movie that should be coming out in 2025. So, we see Hayden Christensen make his return, right? In Obi-Wan. We're hearing that he's going to be back for Ahsoka coming up pretty soon. And now coming to Daisy Ridley's movie, and also Mark Hamill too, because that one kind of took me by surprise. Hayden Christensen, okay, maybe fair, but Mark Hamill was kind of vocal about what happened with The Last Jedi and the direction that Disney was taking it. That after The Last Jedi, he basically was like, this isn't the Luke Skywalker I would have, thought. That he would have never thought that's the way Luke Skywalker would have turned, I guess you could say. And because of that, he kind of was on a hiatus when it came down to, Star Wars and all that. And then next thing you know, Favreau and Filoni came up and was like, hey, you want to, do a few episodes? And I guess that he was smitten by that image, the way that they were, portraying Luke there. He wound up doing it for season 2 of The Mandalorian into the Book of Boba Fett. And, I mean, now here we are. Could get him back potentially as a Force Ghost, probably, obviously, cameo-wise or whatever. But, I don't know. Are you excited to see them back?
I don't know. Yes and no at the same time, because I'm the one that kind of liked old Luke. I kind of enjoyed how he looked. So I guess if he's going to be how he would have been or how he was in Rise of Skywalker, then that's even better. I just liked him being a Force Ghost. I liked him being around to help Rey. As for Hayden Christensen, I want to know how that's going to work out, because I hope he isn't just a cameo. I hope he has like a presence and he's there to help guide Rey and all that and whatnot. But I want to see what they do with him in that aspect of like if he's gonna be a guide or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to hear what he does, what he's gonna be like.
They're gonna be guiding as father and son. I don't know if this is gonna be kind of like I hope this isn't like a Kathleen Kennedy idea where it's like people want to see Luke and Anakin interact. Like we must see this happen on the big screen because Star Wars will not be fulfilled without seeing this happen. Me personally, as Force Ghosts, I wouldn't mind seeing them if they were just like cameo Force Ghosts, like at the end of Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean? Where they just kind of show up at the end to show like they were always watching, or Rise of Skywalker, for as much shit as I give it, that little ending scene where you heard all the voices and everything, that was really nice. I think using Force Ghosts in that capacity really helps. Even like in, Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope, like we've seen limited Force Ghosts, right? We like Obi-Wan Kenobi, he came and he was there for a little bit. I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn was there at the end of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Like something small like that, I wouldn't have a problem seeing them. But if they're going to be like interacting and they're going to try to give us this seeing like, Father, we're in the beyond. All of a sudden, yes, we're Force now. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to see all that. We don't need to see that kind of reunion.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think it'll be anything like that. I mean, I don't think so. I hope not. But I think them being more of like being able to guide the next generation would be nice to see.
Okay, so, but wouldn't that contradict some things too? Where it's like, oh, you need to have a connection to see them, and have that connection to the Force in order to see them. It's not like anybody just kind of trains and they're just like, oh, now I see Qui-Gon walking the halls of the Jedi Temple. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that you have to really train on. So,
well, yeah, it's like it's an enlightenment thing. Yoda had to go through his trials to get there, and then Obi-Wan eventually, he had the trials too, but eventually he did see Qui-Gon. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like, I would imagine, yeah, it is a thing, and Luke, he got to see Anakin, Ben, and all that. But I think the way the original trilogy sets it up, it's like as long as you have a connection to the light side, you can kind of see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know how they say it's not that like you can always see them. It's like they're there when you need them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I see it like. So like we'll say Rey's in her like down moment or whatever, and then they come out and they're just like offering wisdom. I could see that happening.
Okay, and interact that way.
Yeah.
I could. Okay, that would be something cool too. Yeah, because one thing that I've noticed, well, at least in the upcoming or the past previous episodes or shows and movies that came out, like Obi-Wan, Kathleen Kennedy bragged and boasts that, we're getting the rematch of the century and all this and that. And, we saw how that show kind of turned out. And, though we got that hard-hitting moment at the end, the first fight was kind of meh, everything. I wouldn't say everything, but a good chunk of things leading up to the end was kind of meh up until that, hard-hitting moment at the very end, which maybe made a lot of people forget, maybe like me didn't forget at all, and, can kind, we're hoping, or at least me, okay, I'm on the side of the fence where I'm not as optimistic as you when it comes to, the way Lucasfilm has been kind of handling the property. And I don't know, the way Kathleen Kennedy has been kind of running things, it kind of seems like she might do something a little bit more outlandish. But if it sits in the parameters that you said, I would be okay with maybe them interacting that way.
Well, yeah, because I mean, to cheat, like, I know what you mean. They could totally like cheapen it and be like, oh, we're here together. It's all peace and love now. But like, no, it should be meaningful. You know what I mean? Like when you heard Qui-Gon talk to Yoda in the Clone Wars, that was meaningful. Mm-hmm. Like I know that was gonna be its last season or whatever, but like to end on that note is very like he basically saw everything coming.
Yeah.
Yoda, and then it was Qui-Gon, with Qui-Gon's help, he helped him like unlock that. And then when Obi-Wan, he was crying out for Qui-Gon's help the whole time of that show, and then he finds his enlightenment. He faces Vader, and who knows if he needed that clarity to be like, now I can see him. He can teach me now, And then same with like Luke and Ben, and then Yoda, and then obviously Anakin at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
he had that clarity, enlightenment, and he was able to see them, as a final, like, he made it type of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, well, Rey saw Luke, and we know how that turned out. Luke was basically there to help Rey.
Yeah.
So in that capacity, it makes sense, not just to be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like we're Force Ghosts, we're chilling now. Like
Yeah.
that would totally cheapen it.
Yeah, like go catch this baseball, son.
Yeah,
I'm going with Dad.
Like it wouldn't work out.
Oh, I'm glad we're on the same page with that one, because, like I said, it would be nice to see them come back. As a Force Ghost. That last little scene at the end of the movie, maybe being that little Force guidance. I could see it happening, but something that even Mark Hamill himself cannot see happening is CGIing a Luke Skywalker for like a TV show, or to explore his past. he's actually on board with recasting the role. And he said on a podcast, this was a quote, because he was asked, like, if Disney were to come to him with a, what we seen with Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, if Disney were to come to him as a Disney Plus series, like the events that happened to Luke after Return of the Jedi, would he be okay with being CGI'd again to bring the character back to life? And he basically says, it is unusual to see yourself like that. It can't be cheap. People say, oh, now you're going to be able to do a whole series of Luke post Return of the Jedi. I said, I don't think so. First of all, they don't need to tell those stories, but if they do, they could get an age-appropriate actor.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Maybe it's the whole thing, the Star Wars fandom, kind of the way they took Solo, the actor, I forgot his name, as a young Harrison Ford and whatnot. People are just like, we don't want that. We want them back, but you can't recapture that in the bottle, unfortunately. You have to move on. You have to recast and stuff. I don't know if you saw the body double for Book of Boba Fett actually kind of looks like Luke. So, like if you're getting someone that looks close to him just so they can CGI on Mark Hamill's face, you can find someone that looks exactly or close to Mark Hamill's age when he was young.
I think the CGI actor, he did look a lot like, not the one in Mandalorian. I think
the Book of Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett, for sure. They really did find somebody a lot closer. And I mean, technology's come a long way. Like the fact that they were even able to, we were talking about this the other day too. Like I think Rogue One was the one where, everybody was like, well, what the hell? They did Tarkin and they did Leia as a young, and everybody was like, oh, it looks weird,
Yeah.
And then, fast forward, we also saw Furious 7 do it with Paul Walker and everything, and it kind of got a little bit neater. We saw it in Mandalorian Season 2. Once again, another de-aging. We're seeing it in Dial of Destiny. And that's for like a good 20 minutes of the beginning of the movie. Apparently, it's immaculate. That is really good. So I think we're getting to with Book of Boba Fett, I think they perfected it. With Mandalorian Season 2, there was some hiccups. But Book of Boba Fett Season 2, I think they kind of like nailed that shit. And it looked really good. Now, will it be sustainable for a whole show or a movie? Probably not.
Yeah, no.
So, recasting will be good. I don't mind Solo. And I think the actor that they casted for a younger Solo was actually captured it great. I know that there's always a risk of, finding somebody that looks close to them and then sacrificing what made the character good because they probably have a different portrayal or a different way to see it. But like, there's nothing wrong with that, because the way Obi-Wan Kenobi, when they recasted him, obviously, he acted completely different than when Alec Guinness did, but because he was a younger Kenobi, right?
Yeah.
And so eventually, and you see it as, Star Wars properties kept going, they kind of made it show like that seamless transition into Alec Guinness, right?
Yeah. And
you kind of seen that in the Rebel show. I know a lot of people probably didn't see that, but it was in the Rebel show. You kind of seen it in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show where, like, towards the end, he kind of had that clarity. Obviously, there's more arc after that in the Rebel show and all that stuff. So, and even in A New Hope. So, you could see it spaced out, and that would be a good way to do it if they go the younger route. In my opinion, it would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's time. It would be time for everything to kind of just give underway to new actors and stuff. Like, rest in peace to Leia and all that. But you bringing her back and trying to CGI her and stuff would be a disservice. It's a fucked up thing to want to happen, to even consider, honestly. I think it worked for Rise of Skywalker with that one time, reusing footage and whatnot and just CGIing her in places. But to want to tell those stories further, you'd have to get an actress like that.
Well, Carrie Fisher's daughter, didn't she play the double for her?
Did she?
Yeah, because she looked almost identical. Obviously, different genes from a father or whatever, unless she copy and pasted, that's a different story.
Yeah, I
But
remember.
I think they used her to CGI her mom on there, like to make her look younger.
Oh, wasn't that for Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah,
You know, when they show the they're training on Endor or whatever.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, if they got like I said, if they got somebody close, or like how you said, if they got somebody close enough, I mean, and it's always funny because a lot of people say, like, I don't know if you've seen the holiday special, the Christmas special of Star Wars, and they had brought Luke, Han, and Leia back, and everybody makes fun of it because they look almost alike, but there's this little one thing that changes it that makes them look like a Dollar Tree version of them. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And it's not 100% fair because it looked like it was just a bunch of people doing cosplay or whatever. But if they actually get high budget actors and, you know, that look exactly like them, and, you know, obviously VFX has come a long way. VFX is not just, you know, like, it's not just CGI and everything anymore. It's actually touch-ups by the end of the movie, you know, to make things pop, make it look good, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they could make it happen with a younger cast. Like I said, Solo did it good. They did it good with the prequels. Come on now. And now, you know, I don't know why it's this big thing like, oh, we don't want to recast the OG characters. Maybe because of the way Solo turned out, but
That's fine. That's what I would imagine.
You think so?
People just responded so badly to Solo, which is not really its fault. It was a reaction to the fucking other movie, but like people were just like, damn, this one he's not Harrison Ford, we don't want it. But I'm like, Harrison Ford was old as shit at that point. How people still want to Dial of Destiny in this day and age is, you know, it's beyond me, because they'd rather see a CGI Harrison Ford than someone else take up that mantle. You know what I mean? Like, who was to say they couldn't get a younger actor to be in that little role for the 20 minutes or whatever of Dial of Destiny?
No, yeah. I mean, that would have made sense. I mean, I would have rehired the dude that played him in Solo to come back and do that, but I don't know. I don't know why Hollywood's so scared to just recast them. I mean, I understand it's not the same people, but maybe general audience's disbelief. Maybe that's why they just can't suspend their disbelief that good.
Maybe, I don't know, cause just to be like, oh shit, this is what the fuck?
Like that's the holiday special ones. It's something that looks just a little off with them every single time.
Yeah, no, that's weird. What the hell? But that's crazy. It's crazy shit. Mark Hamill was completely right, though. I think it's time to just start recasting.
Yeah, I think so too. At this point, might as well. Will they do it? Will they have the balls to do it? Time will tell. I mean, they tried to do it once, and maybe that's why they're just scared to do it again.
Yeah.
But somebody who is still in Star Wars and doesn't really have to worry about being recast or being casted at all now is Pedro Pascal. He himself has now confirmed that most of his work now is voiceover work within the Star Wars universe. And depending on who you ask, it could either be a good thing or a bad thing. And so I ask you, is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's okay. From his standpoint, I'm sure he thinks it's good. But as a fan standpoint, that shit's bad. Because I feel like there were moments, like you said it before, but there's moments in the Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, where you
really ran through that title really fast. That shit sped through the. I was like, God damn.
Like in Mando, where he should be taking his helmet off, and I know they said the whole Creed thing to stop it, but I mean they're working both paths now, right? So he should be able to freely take it off, regardless of being shunned. You know, like I understand his mentality, but there should be moments where he takes it off and we see Din's actual face. Maybe it's because it's easier for him and he's just like, oh good, I don't have to get in that big ass suit or whatever. But still, you should want to do all that and show your face sometimes.
Yeah, and even at the end of season 3, apparently there was a scene where he was supposed to take his helmet off and, you know, at the end show him and Grogu just living together.
Yeah.
And apparently because of scheduling conflicts, and they were just like, well, we don't really need him. We just need the voice. it wasn't a real big push, so they had to scrap that altogether. But he did say during this podcast to the Hollywood Reporter, talking to Succession, Kieran Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's cousin, he basically asked if he just provided a voice for the Mandalorian, and Pedro Pascal said, yeah, for a lot of it, yeah. He said there was an extended amount of experimentation being in the suit for a lot of it, and frankly, my body wasn't up for the task as far as like the 4 months of it, but I was in it. I was in it a significant amount, an elastic amount. He said that his neck would chafe, but now we figured it out, which is super cool, and amazingly, it gave me the opportunity to be able to go and do something else. So, he probably was in the suit for maybe like the first season, for most of it, or probably all of it, and then was like, oh, it causes struggle with me or whatever, and then, they were like, well, body double, and you provide voice work, and whenever your helmet needs to be taken off, we'll just have you in the suit for those scenes or whatever, and then eventually, with season 3, it just turned into pure voice work. So I'm sure he was trying to, avoid going into detail like that, but it kind of sounds like that's probably the evolution of it. It just started a little bit, got into a habit. Now here he is saying, I don't even need to, be around.
Yeah, no. I mean, but again, I think that still cheapens it, because if there's moments where you got to take your helmet off, you should be there on set to take that shit off, regardless of the suit and stuff, because as unrealistic as it sounds, and I know this is a universe with space wizards, as people say, but his helmet can come off sometimes, and you can show his face, and you can show emotion. That was a lot of season 3 where they were like, "Oh no, something bad happened," and then the camera would pan to Din, and his helmet's just there, staring at the problem.
He not even emoting or anything like that. He's
just like. And then, like, slight head shift. And I think that's probably why Bo-Katan is, like, a big part of the show now. Because, she's kind of the leading woman now. You know what I mean?
She shows the emotion.
She can take her helmet off, and she can act and emote. And while he's there to be the cool fucking Mando guy and take care of Grogu, she's there to basically push the plot forward and, get that emotional stake, because Din isn't giving us emotion.
You're right. And with the director, basically the director of the last episode of season 3, him coming out and saying that the Mandalorian isn't specifically just Pedro Pascal anymore, it does sound like they're gonna be shifting the focus a little bit from him and kind of moving it to maybe Bo-Katan, which is crazy because that means that they just used a new character to usher in an old character, and that's kind of weird to me because, I mean, Bo-Katan, as much as I love these older characters, it's nice. It's just, when are they going to get their happy ending? Like, we understand that they, Star Wars property, hey, we want to see them in other stuff, but when is Bo-Katan going to, bite the bullet? When is she going to, she's been... Her sister died, and she was the peaceful one. Like, this is the girl that's been like putting her head first in like explosions and doing all this fucking shit, and she's the one who survives the longest. It doesn't make any sense. But the peaceful one gets stabbed by the Darksaber, who was just like minding her own business, trying to take care of her people. Some bullshit, man. Star Wars universe is cruel.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, no. This sounds like a problem, but if it means more Bo-Katan, I'm fine with that.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Are you one of those people that she was talking about when she was like, a lot of them ask about sitting on their face or something?
Oh, I'm not one of those people. I'm not. No.
No.
But like I think that's just kind of out of pocket. But yeah, I ain't gonna. That is gross. I ain't gonna ask someone that in public. Like, that's disgusting. But yeah, no, that's not it. I just think she's cool, and yeah, I can acknowledge that she's hot. But I'm not going to go that extra step.
Okay. All right. I get you. And that's fine. But somebody who is taking an extra step back into Star Wars after honestly seeing him a few times now making his rounds, we're hearing now that Tamara Morrison could be making a return as Captain Rex himself in the new Ahsoka series. That we're hearing is great. Apparently, Lucasfilm executives have said that it's the best piece of Star Wars property that they've put together so far. And apparently that's the reason why Dave Filoni basically got his film, that the Ahsoka series. So hearing that Tamara Morrison might be in there to kind of make this series whole. I mean, like I said, we seen him in the Book of Boba Fett. We seen him do a little cameo that kind of broke our hearts in Kenobi. And now here we are, him coming back to play Captain Rex. I don't know. How you feel about that one? Boba Fett.
Like I was saying with Luke, it's time to get someone else. I love Tamara Morrison. If he decides to stay as Boba Fett, cool, because his role is also not necessary. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to take his helmet off as much. He should, but he doesn't have to. I think it's time to get someone else.
You think he's aged out the role?
Yeah.
But aren't the clones supposed to be that age?
Yes and no at the same time. I don't know. I don't know if this is a good fit.
In Rebels, he was already old. By Return of the Jedi, shouldn't he have been dead?
Well, I mean, it depends on when they're showing him because it all depends on if it's a flashback or not. You know what I mean? Yeah, like if he is alive after Return of the Jedi, they're gonna have to explain where the fuck he's been at.
They got some explaining to do.
Yeah, but if they're doing flashbacks, and then they showed like Darth Maul, like those set clips, I don't know if those were fake or not, but when they showed him, I'd imagine that's a flashback because Maul is dead by this point. But I don't.
Okay.
I think if it's a flashback and they try to make him look young, it'll look weird.
So you think a younger actor to play the clones would be in order?
It would be enough.
So, okay, so you don't think him playing like an older Boba Fett or an older clone is bad, but him playing a younger clone is bad. Okay, all right. So you think that the Ahsoka series is gonna hit us with the flashbacks, and they need to get a younger actor, to play him. Okay.
If it's old and then they fix him up with that beard and shit like he was in Rebels, like you said, then cool, fine, I guess. But now you got to explain to me where has he been past Rebels, I guess, and then because I think you told me the last time, but that rumor was debunked where it was like, oh, was that him in the Battle of Endor? Yeah, no, that was debunked. That's not him. That was someone else. I know people really wanted it to be him, but it was debunked. It's not him.
Just some random old dude helping the rebellion
who really looked like Rex and gave people that point to be like, oh, but no, it's not him. Sorry.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It's not.
My headcanon still says that he helped out there. He just wasn't a main character.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Did he make it out because he wasn't a main character in this one?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We didn't see. Do we see an old man partying at the end of the movie?
I think I think it would have been time for Rex to also die, though. If I'm being for real.
Well, I would assume because in Rebels, which is supposed to take place before New Hope, he was already older. So I would assume by Return of the Jedi, he wouldn't have made it. Boba Fett, obviously, because his genes weren't altered to age rapidly. But I mean, Tamara Morrison, the Captain
clones.
Resk.
That's why the clones would be old as shit now. They're meant to age fast. Mm-hmm. I think that's because even if you want to really timetable it, they're born, they get their training, they kind of age up in like the span of like weeks, right?
Yeah,
and then they're sent out to war. Rex has been around since
the beginning of the war. He was like one of the first clones.
Yeah, and then so he's been he'd be like 60 by the time, or not even 60, but like 40 pushing 50 by the time the end of the war, and then pushing 60, 70 when we see him in Rebels because he has that beard already.
No, 3 years. No, well, kind of, huh? Because they grew him. Well, they had a batch before, and it took 3 years. So by the end of the war, he had to be like
30, close to 40.
30, close to 40, yeah. By Return of the Jedi, he has to be pushing like 60, 70.
Yeah.
So there's no way.
That's why. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They would have to get a younger actor for the flashbacks, yeah. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't take his helmet off and it's just a fat Rex. We don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully he's been working out because this could be just You know, because a lot of people were like, well, Boba Fett, you know, like
That's
you
fucked
know,
up.
he was a little too big and everything in Boba Fett and whatnot and in the Mandalorian, which I can agree. He had a little bit of weight to him. He should have probably worked out a little bit. That Disney should have probably mandated it, because if he gets out of the Sarlacc pit and you see him in Return of the Jedi, that boy was thin in Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean? And then he gained a few pounds from the acid in the Sarlacc pit. It doesn't make
Nah,
any
Mo,
sense.
he was living fat off the land with the Tuscans.
He was he was putting it away, putting it somewhere.
He wasn't getting quarter portions. He was getting full portions.
I got you. But we'll have to wait and see. This is still a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. If you guys are waiting to see Captain Rex in live action, well, we could be getting him pretty soon. But moving on to what isn't Star Wars anymore, but a part of Lucasfilm, and that's Kathleen Kennedy giving a very confusing statement on the future of Indiana Jones. So she was asked, oh my God, she was asked on Entertainment Weekly, basically, once again, if this is really going to be the last outing for Harrison Ford. And I say it's confusing because the quote is so confusing. And so she says, it's Harrison Ford's last entry. That's how we look at the Indy franchise. I mean, truthfully, right now, if we were to do anything, it might be a series television down the road, but we're not doing anything to replace Indiana Jones. This is it. There are 5 movies that Harrison Ford did, and Harrison is so specific and so unique to creating that role. Steven agrees. We just wouldn't do that. So I don't know. It sounds like she was teetering the line to kind of see what the interviewer would say. Like, do we want a TV series? Do we not want him back? Can Harrison Ford come back? It's like, stop it. Why are you entered? And this is why, like, I think that she's just a ridiculous person to be running this at this point, because she sounds like she's trying to be a crowd pleaser, but she doesn't know what the crowd wants. You know what I mean? She's just up there like, yeah, okay, so this isn't what you like, but this is what you like, so we're gonna do that, whatever. It's like, my God, man, just give it a rest. Harrison Ford is pushing 70, bruh. He is not coming back for a television series for no Indiana Jones movie or show or anything like that. Why would a 70-year-old Harrison Ford still be doing fucking like crazy shit? Like, I thought Crystal Skull was gonna be the end of it. Like, he was already old in that one. Why the hell would we're gonna re-see him do it again? He's a professor who gets picked up by somebody, and now he's gonna have to go on a mission all over again, all across the world, and outrun all these things, and make it believable that this 60-something year old man can do all this shit. He can't do this shit. He can't do it anymore. Put it to rest.
Oh, goddamn! I don't know how to follow that up. But you know what this kind of sounds like though? Like you know the Mummy movies, very famous movies.
Mm.
It sounds like that. It sounds like they're like, not the premise, but more of like, hey, we know that there's something valuable, and you got us there the first time. Let's do it again. And, the second one happens, and then however you feel about the third one, like,
yeah,
like, but with this, it's time to let go. Same thing. Like, I feel like that's just the running message of this episode. Like, so it's time for these actors to let go, and it's time for Hollywood to do something new with these IPs that they're so invested in keeping alive. Like, it's time for Harrison Ford to give up the whip. I don't know. It's an outdated weapon. I don't even know. but like, for real, like, if they want to do a show, get someone else. Don't use Harrison Ford anymore. Let him focus on whatever he's doing with Marvel. Like, I don't know. That's just weird.
Here's my thing. Tomb Raider has been rebooted and changed the actors, I think, 4 times. What other franchises have gotten the reboot treatment? Pirates of the Caribbean's on its way to getting that done. Now we're doing sequels and continuations of the first part and not really reboots as much anymore. Spider-Man has been rebooted 3 times. Multiple movies have been rebooted.
It's time for a new one.
It's time to reboot the Indiana Jones franchise.
Yeah.
there's no reason to have this old man come back. And I get it. Passing on the mantle. And I think this is a time where, continuations are more beloved than an actual reboot for whatever reason. But that's the thing about Hollywood is that, and this is the thing about her as well. Like, you don't know, they believe they know what the crowd wants by the chance, but sometimes the small minority of groups yell a little bit louder. You know what I mean? Take the whole Snyderverse stuff. They say it's a minority of people, but they just scream really loud. And it's like, same thing. Hollywood does the same thing. There's a minority of people that scream very loud while the other ones have to sit back and suffer. Whoever said continuations are better than reboots, they are when it comes to certain properties if they're young enough. Like, even like Bad Boys. I think after the third one, they should probably reboot it. I don't know why they would want to get a fourth installment with older Will Smith and older Martin Lawrence when they could easily just reboot the franchise, get younger actors. Like I said, I would love to see, like, the dude that plays Black Manta play maybe Will Smith's spot in a Bad Boys reboot. You know what I mean? I don't know how, depending on, I can't think of anybody to play Martin Lawrence besides Kevin Hart for some reason, but I know that's probably generic as hell, and I'm sorry for that, but like, something like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, just reboot it. Like, you can easily reboot and, start anew. You don't have to pass the mantle. Passing the mantle is not something that's necessarily necessary with these movies.
What's crazy about it, though, is because, like you said, I think they want us to know. They want people to be really happy to see Harrison Ford back as Indiana Jones, but that age group has unfortunately aged out. You know what I mean? Like, when I tell you I haven't seen any Indiana Jones movies, and this one is just another one down the pipeline, it's true. I don't really want to see that. If they decided to reboot and then give us a fresh actor, a fresh take, and then everything, I'd be like, sure, I'd give this a shot, because I don't have to go back and watch movies that I know I'm not interested in to go see Harrison Ford in this last role of his. Mm-hmm. But I'd be like, okay, this is a new take. I haven't seen the new ones. Let me see what this one's about. And then if I decide down the line I see it, it's shit, and then I want to go back and see what I was missing, then cool. But it's time to move on, because the audience you were once looking for, who would have loved Harrison Ford as come back as Indiana, has also aged out.
Yeah. And there's a lot of examples. Out there.
I know there is. It's just this was the topic at hand.
No. There's a lot of examples out there of of them doing it right, rebooting it right. Like I used a couple already, but it is what it is. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if this confusing statement actually flourishes. I don't think anybody is rooting for an Indiana Jones TV series. We're good. I'm not saying let the franchise die. Just leave Harrison Ford alone. Let you guys already royally fucked up showing this movie at Cannes, and this is his last bow out. Now everybody's gonna drag the movie. People are dragging it on the internet now, and now he has to see it months before the movie even premieres to the general audiences. It's like, it's bullshit.
It's not gonna work.
It's bullshit. It's
sorry, Harrison. It's time to let go.
All right, but moving on from Lucasfilm and all those crazy topics that we had in the beginning, we're gonna move on to something a little bit more your lane, Josh, and that's the Barbie movie. So Margot Robbie basically came out saying that they tried getting our girl Gal Gadot in this Barbie movie, saying in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that Gal Gadot is Barbie energy, because Gal Gadot is so impossibly beautiful, but you don't hate her for being that beautiful because she's so genuinely sincere and she's so enthusiastically kind, and that it's also almost dorky. It's like right before being a dork. And so Gal Gadot, which couldn't take part of the movie because of scheduling conflicts and all that stuff, reposted that clip and basically said that she'll be with it for the next one and join the Barbie universe on the next one. So are we getting
take my money now? I don't even I fucking listen. If there's one actress I will always go see, it's Gal Gadot. She's everything. I sign me up. Take my money. I don't even need to see the premise for a second one. I just take my money.
I'm gonna call bullshit right now. I got you, fam.
No. I'm telling you, it's true.
Every movie she's been in.
If you bring up WW84, I'm gonna choke the fuck out of you.
No. Death on the Nile.
No.
Yeah, nobody's seen that movie.
Is that one new?
Apparently, she was horrendous in it.
Is that one of the new ones?
It came out in 2022.
No, I didn't even.
Apparently, she did not do very good at acting.
No, we'll see. Well, damn. But, I like her in other things. And I think she's a fine actress. I don't get what people say when they say she has no range or whatever, but I don't know.
Has no range. I don't know. No, I don't think I've seen enough movies to know that, because to be honest, I think I've only seen her as Wonder Woman and in the Fast franchise. I like her as an actress, but I've noticed in other roles in films, like, she keeps her like natural voice and stuff like that, and I think that's probably a reason why her like acting doesn't come through, because she's just acting or being herself type thing. And so maybe that's why I'm not really seeing it, but that's just probably me. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You seen her in other movies besides Wonder Woman, and seen her in other roles besides Wonder Woman and
Hold on.
Fast?
Hold on.
No, you haven't, huh?
Hold on.
You haven't, huh?
No, because I still want to see, because I haven't gotten around to seeing Red Notice.
You haven't even seen Red Notice? I've seen Red Notice.
I gotta see it. I've heard decent things about it, but I don't. I want to check that one out. And look, it says here she's gonna be in The Flash. She was in Wreck-It Ralph. That's crazy. She was in Night and Day.
Yeah.
She was in Night and Day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
She played a small role. She was one of the henchmen.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. But I heard she was kind of good in Red Notice.
She was okay.
Well, there you go.
She just played a CIA person.
But either way,
I don't think I've seen her play an in-depth character. I think that's the thing. I haven't seen.
Oh no, she plays that badass. She plays like the kick-ass, take names kind of type.
Well, then that's why. Maybe that's why there's no range. It's kind of like Dwayne Johnson when he gets hired to do the same thing over and over again.
I don't know. I thought she gave a good performance as Wonder Woman.
But that's the character she plays all the time.
Well, no,
badass.
I think when she had to be emotional, it was emotional. I don't know.
For Steve Trevor?
Well, yeah.
But then 84?
Well, we don't talk about it.
That's what
we don't talk about 84.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I'm all up for to see her. Maybe, hopefully this one, maybe a Barbie 2 will show those acting chops or something, or maybe it'll make her into a different kind of whatever. But as of right now, I mean, Gal Gadot, though she is pretty, she is hot, I think, and she would make a fine, like, I don't know, what's her race, like.
Is she Greek?
Greek? Yeah, she's Greek. Like a Greek Barbie, that'd be nice. But like, you need to like, I don't know. Hopefully we could see some kind of acting chops out of this. I just can't, like, for the life of me. I'm thinking about it.
She's Israeli.
Israelian. Okay. So I what do you call it? So I can't even think of what she would, how she would act in there. It's because all I've seen her is now returning in. Spoilers for Fast X, returning in Fast X and the Fast franchise, but yeah, Wonder Woman, nothing else.
Either way, sign me up. Barbie 2. I'm down for that already. I don't even need to see the first one.
See, I told you, right up his lane. The Barbie movie is right up his lane. He don't watch her in anything else, not even Red Notice, and that's an action movie. But he'll see her in Barbie.
Well, I didn't really see Red Notice because of The Rock.
But Reynolds. I was not going to watch. I will tell you right now, I was not going to watch it because of The Rock, but Reynolds was in it, and I was like, I'm in.
Is it worth it then?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a funny watch.
You got to check it out then.
Yeah, I still got to show you Extraction. You just be sleeping all the time. That's the problem.
But, no.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Barbie 2.
Barbie 2? All right, we still got to watch Barbie 1. See if it's even worth.
The question is, are we going to go see Oppenheimer or Barbie first?
I don't know. Do you want to be caught up for Barbie 2 or not?
That is true. Will there be an Oppenheimer too? the nuke strikes back.
Damn. Christopher Nolan's gonna be able to set off 2 nukes. How amazing!
Yeah, no, but we'll get around to seeing it, I'm sure.
All right. Well, moving on though to the Fast franchise. Talking to the director basically saying that the cliffhanger is not just a cliffhanger for no reason, but that we may not be seeing some actors coming back.
No fucking way. Y'all don't have the balls.
So he says this, okay? Wait. What does he say? He winds up saying that the Fast X, which we don't know if it's going to be part 2 of a trilogy or if it's just going to be a part 2 and be the end of it.
Yeah.
But he says that some of the killed off cast may not make it over the finish line. At one point, this model is not going to be able to continue. At that point is very soon, as in the model of bringing characters back. He also says you're going to cry in part 2. It's going to be very sad. In my mind, they're modern saints at the end of Fast X. There's 2 ways a person becomes a saint. Either they pull off a miracle or they sacrifice themselves for the greater good. So yes, you're going to cry. There are some tears in the future. There are some tears in your future. Let me tell you. He also says that, and if you like twists, you're gonna love the next one. Twist on twists on twists, and even goes on to say that time travel will not be implemented. Because everybody saw the DeLorean and thought, hey, time travel may happen. And he even went as far because they asked him.
Dude.
Time travel.
Here's the thing. We know. You can't bullshit us. We know. We've played this game before. We know. The ones not coming back, spoilers for Fast X. The ones not coming back are John Cena. If they pull it off and he comes back, shit. Goddamn. We know the dude that he raced Dante with, he's not coming back. Those are probably like the only 2 the only 2 that like I know like for real died, right? Or I assume for real died. And then, there's no way he's gonna kill off the whole crew in a plane. That is not how I imagine they go out. Maybe Roman, but not the other ones.
It'd be crazy if Roman's the first one to die. Like for realsies.
It would. That would really cement things. I think that'd be like, oh shit. God damn, you don't kill off the comedic relief like that, but like that would really cement things, I feel. But we know there's a reason you didn't show a plane crash and it wasn't just for runtime. We know they're coming back. We know you're bullshitting. You can't lie to me. I've played this game before.
They pretended that they crashed in, and then in the beginning of the next movie, they're coming around the mountain and they're gonna knock Momoa off the cliff or something. With
nah, dude, watch. Like they're gonna be like, oh, they got in the cars last minute, and then like as it was swerving, the thing they jumped out and last minute, and then watch. They're gonna go pick up Dom. They're the ones that are gonna save that motherfucker. I'm telling you.
One thing's for certain is that the trailer will tell us before the movie does. 100%.
That would, I think at that point they got to keep it under wraps.
They would have to really reduce those 4-minute trailers for every fucking movie that they put out, which is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount of trailer time. 4 minutes? It gives away a lot. It gives away so much. And three of those bitches, that's 16 minutes, my guy. That is a lot of footage that you gave away. It is what it is. I just hope that they don't use time travel, because the director said time travel is not a thing. Apparently, going into space is just a bar you can't pass. So apparently, that's why he's not gonna do time travel. But
dog, let me tell you, if I had to see it in any franchise, it'd be this franchise. Who
time travel?
Yeah, why not? It would be fun. I think that'd be fun.
It's people like you that are fueling this franchise and Vin Diesel's head.
That would be fun. You can't be mad at that. This is like
I would 100% be mad at that.
If you want a franchise to do fun shit, Why not? Why not it be this franchise?
I wouldn't even buy another ticket to. If they say time travel is involved in this next Fast movie.
Oh, I imagine on this one, but if somewhere down the line they were like, "Oh, we gotta time travel back or whatever to stop this," like that would be fun. I can have fun with that. It's like my own imagination. That'd be fucking fun. I know people were like, "Oh, Fast and the Furious people should meet the Transformers and then watch them whip around," and I'm like, "Shit." The Transformers have no problem whipping themselves around. They don't need a person in the car doing it for them.
That's when we draw the line. Is when Optimus and the gang is in these movies. Okay, that's what we're doing. Not at the time travel, but when Optimus.
Would you want to see? Would you want to see? What's another one that they were saying? Ooh, Fast and Furious meets Jurassic Park. Would you want to see that?
They could make that happen if they wanted to.
How are you gonna get there? Time travel.
Oh fuck, dude! What the hell? No, they fucking obviously make mistakes in present time and build a fucking Jurassic Park in Dom's backyard or something. I don't know.
They're like, Dom, we need your team to stop the dinosaurs, and they're just like, suit up, everybody, and then they're riding with dinosaurs and shit, like T-Rex. I can see it now. T-Rex.
No,
like he's
gonna kill the T-Rex. It's gonna be the end of the movie. He's gonna kill the T-Rex with the Charger. He's about to ram it, and he's gonna see the eggs hatching. He's be like, "We can't do this. The dinosaur has a family." And then the dinosaur and them are gonna shake.
They're gonna dab up.
Yeah, they're gonna dab up, have a Corona and some beers at the end of the movie. The dinosaur is gonna probably be pissed because he can't reach their hands. It's like,
no. Dom's gonna be like, "Hey, can you open this for me?" He's gonna use his nail as a bottle opener.
Damn. Fast 12, everybody. We already got the plans en route.
This is one of the spin-offs. We're gonna have Universal come knocking on our door.
If that sounded good to you guys, you're probably with Josh over here, who would love to see time travel.
Dude, it'd be fun.
No,
that would be fun.
I can't get behind that. No, I would not buy a ticket. I wouldn't even buy a ticket.
You just have no imagination.
That movie,
would be fun.
That movie would never be. That movie sounds like one of those movies that are just straight to video. That is just like, you seen that parody movie of the Fast movies?
I think I've seen only like half of it. The rest of it wasn't like funny to me.
Yeah, it wasn't hilarious. It wasn't that funny, but it just reminds me of like a movie.
Like I saw that clip where he's like pop the hood, and then he's like, oh shit, he has one of those little tube things tied to the other tubes, and I was like, okay, this is not funny. I can't get jiggy with this shit. Parody movies have lost their touch.
Yeah, how they fell so hard from like the first scary movie.
I think it's probably, I know there's a little side tangent, but it's probably because of the times we're in. People are just very easily offended. They're like, "Oh, this joke in this fake movie about a franchise I love made this joke, and it's pointing it out my insecurities." Well, it was funny. That's my thing.
Oh, so you think that Scary Movie was just poking too much fun at people?
Well, no, not just Scary Movie, but like the other ones, like Epic Movie and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How they were just making fun of movies that people liked at the time, so they were just like, oh. And then even then, I don't think the comedy would like.
That's all the movies though.
I don't think the comedy would hit as much.
Parody movies. You know which one's funny to this day is the one with Drake Bell. That superhero.
No, the superhero one.
That shit's hilarious.
He's like, how'd you do that? Oh, just practice. He does the nail. He shoots Kevin Hart's hand.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
I'd say that one. That
one's timeless. That one's timeless.
But yeah, so apparently we're gonna cry on the next Fast movie. Optimus Prime is where we draw the line, but not for Paramount, because we are also getting another Transformers movie that apparently was greenlit back in CinemaCon. When CinemaCon was happening, I did not hear about this. Had a release date, wound up getting pushed back even further from the release date. It was July 19, 2024, but now it will be released September 13, 2024. It is an animated movie. It's called Transformers 1, and it will be voiced by Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, I've heard about this. Okay.
And Brian T. Henry will play Megatron.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to take place like way before the war. And then, like, it'll show them being, like, actual brothers, and then the betrayal and all that. I'm down for this.
Okay, so, and then we got Scarlett Johansson,
mm-hmm.
Keegan-Michael Key,
yeah,
John Hamm,
yes,
Lawrence Fishburne,
yep,
who will be playing Elita, Bumblebee, Sentinel Prime, and Alpha Trion. Oh, Sentinel Prime, too, so they're going to be going way back.
Yeah. I'd imagine it's before Optimus Prime was a Prime.
Are they trying to like? Well, I mean, if it's connected to the movies, why wouldn't they get the original voice actor for Optimus back?
Oh, I don't know if it's connected.
I thought you just said it was connected.
No, I mean like no, they're it's not. I don't know. I don't think it's connected. I think they're just gonna explore it before the war, because in all Star Wars, in all Transformer iterations, Cybertron falls because of the war. They're just changing it now to explore it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the I don't know if you've seen it, that show that they did on Netflix, that original, like it does so good exploring like Cybertron and all that, like during the war and then before they get to Earth. That's a really good adaptation. But I want to see this movie because it sounds sick.
It sounds good. It sounds like a interesting dynamic. It's just more, are they preparing people for maybe like a voice change in like movies though? That's kind of, I always feel like there's a deeper meaning, because if it was something like, if it's going to be a scale where it's going to come out in the box office, we already have an Optimus who voices him, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And to hear like Chris Hemsworth's voice, we don't know if it's going to be altered by, obviously.
I sure fucking hope so. I do not want to hear Chris Hemsworth. I want to hear Optimus.
Exactly. So are we still going to get that kind of voice, maybe just a younger guy to do that? Or are we going to actually get a whole different voice that's going to lead to a whole slew of different movies with a different person voicing Optimus and Megatron? You know what I mean? Is this kind of like getting the audience ready for a different direction?
Maybe. I'm not too sure, because I have this thing where I see, maybe it's a recent thing, but people have a problem with actors doing voice work and not actual voice actors, if that makes any sense.
I find it to be a problem.
Yeah, it is. Like, I didn't know it was a real thing, but like Chris Hemsworth voicing Optimus, like he's a actor. He's like almost A-list actor, depending on where you see him. Like, but is he a voice actor? No. You know what I mean? Like, people want to see actual voice actors, not this, because how do you know if he's a good fit? Like, we know the studio thinks he's a good fit, but to fans, how is he going to be compared to other voices of Optimus? You know what I mean? He's an actor. He's not a voice actor.
Yeah. It's kind of like what they did with Mario 2. Instead of getting, the original voice actor, or, a voice actor who can kind of do the voice similarly but do something different, they got Chris Pratt, and we got a whole Brooklyn accent instead of, a Mario accent like we're used to. So, some people were able to look over it. Obviously, it's the first adaptation in a while that kind of maybe didn't rub people the wrong way, but Optimus Prime is a known character. We've seen him in live action. We know what he's supposed to sound like. Excuse me. It was a voice actor that brought him to life, and depending on whether you like it or not, if it's a good thing for you guys, for me personally, it's not. But they made Optimus in this new one look like the voice actor and given him his due diligence with this one at least. I think that them using voice actors using actual actors instead of voice actors for these roles is, one, taken away from voice actor work, because they if you already got A-list stars who are doing it there, why would they go to animation? Not often does it always happens, but it's happening more often now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, you would have voice actors who can replicate that for other mediums, you know what I mean? And that, they try to get it as close as they can to the original actor. And a younger Optimus, if it's in the same universe, they could just do that instead of A-listing.
No, it's a little weird because it's hard to picture this dude voicing this because you've seen his face everywhere. It's more of like, how do they avoid him sounding like him and him sound like Optimus?
Yeah,
but I'm still excited for this movie. Regardless,
I like the premise. I'll still watch it. Yeah, I mean, I would have to see what the animation looks like before we go and watch it. I'm hoping we're getting a 3D animated one instead of a 2D, or like how Across the Spider-Verse is. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think that's probably the only way to do Transformers nowadays. They're like, you got a 3D animation that bitch, because I think even the one on Netflix is also 3D animation.
Netflix has one.
Yeah, no, I just said that. Yeah, I'll show you the trailer afterward, but they do have one. It's a dope ass like iteration of Transformers. Like if you guys like if it interests you to the point of seeing them on Cybertron and like fighting and shit like that, I'll tell you about it. I give it a watch. I think there's like
That's not the one that everybody was like dragging because the robot was like, "Oh, I don't know what I am."
no, that's the one on Paramount, dude.
Oh,
That's the new one on Paramount. This
Mm.
one's like Netflix's own
Oh, okay.
before this one, and then I think 3D animation for Transformers really dates back to when Prime was coming out. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like that one really set the bar because that one was really good.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm excited for this one, so I'll keep an eye on this one. I don't know if it's a Paramount exclusive, Paramount Plus. It looks like it's gonna be going into theaters, so we will be seeing it in theaters. 100%. Is this a theater movie for you? Depending on the animation for me.
Depending on animation, yeah, for sure. If they decide to get creative with it and it's like Into the Spider-Verse or whatever,
Mhm.
I'd be fucking down for that. Like a comic booky version of it, that'd be fucking sick.
Okay, I get that. But moving on though, we do have word. Okay, so your boy James Gunn, right? He winds up, like we said in the last episode.
He's not my boy. Shut up.
Sorry. Like we said in the last episode, he hasn't really came out and spoken about the strike or anything like that. But he did come out and talk about AI. Okay? AI, he was asked if he has used artificial intelligence, AI, or anything like that as, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. Did he use it in any of the scenes, or, has he been one of those that really wants to use it within his
pro AI?
And he says, AI was not part of the production process. To be honest, I don't know much about AI. I never used ChatGPT or anything like that. I approach it cautiously, as many people do, but I am also very excited about what it means for medicine, law enforcement, and many other areas of life it can help us in. I'm an old-fashioned science guy. I believe we can create a better world through technology. I believe it's possible. It's really just a matter of us focusing on what's more important to us. As Guardians of the Galaxy movies do, we can make a great movie spectacle with mutual love and interpersonal relationships as the basis of the plot. And I want people to go to theaters and leave feeling that the person they sat next to is better than before they went in. I think artificial intelligence can be used for good purposes, and I hope it doesn't replace us in everything in a few years. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know how to. Interesting. Well, I guess that's a rare W for him. I would imagine he wouldn't use AI. Like he said, I'd imagine he's old fashioned. He'd want to write everything by hand, because how can a robot articulate your idea better than you, I guess. But I mean, I guess that's fair.
Yeah. I don't see anything bad. I think I'll give him the same flowers that you did. I think it makes sense. I think he used it in the right way, but I think he could have used this chance to have segued into the Writer Strike Guild and how AI is impacting them right now. You know what I mean? This is what I mean, where like he has the opportunity, he'll speak up about it, but he'll tiptoe around everything else, if that makes sense. So I'm just like, this was his opportunity to kind of clear the air, speak on the writer's strike, and also speak on, the impression that AI is having. He did mention that, hopefully it doesn't replace us, but, he could have went a step further and said, replace us, and look at how it's affecting us right now with the writer's strike or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And spread it a little bit more awareness, but instead he just focused on what it was that he was working on. And this is what I mean, where I say this is the kind of person that he is, where like, and I'm not trying to be a dickhead, I'm not trying to be an asshole. This is who he portrays himself as to the public, and what he portrays himself as to the public is what he needs to do. So him doing that and him saying these things, to me, makes it sound like he's saying the politically correct thing to say out in public. But, I mean, you said that you're hiring all these great writers and blah, 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 and all this and that, but a writer strike is going on. AI is becoming a more prominent thing around here. You know what I mean? Are you working on your shit during the writer strike? Are you using AI for that to do these scripts, to fill in some holes or whatever? Still your formula? Are you you know what I mean? Like, he could have spoken up about it. It's fine if he left it plain Jane kind of stuff and kind of tiptoed around it, but that's just my thing, is like, why you tiptoe around it when you could have most definitely shed some light on it right then and there.
Yeah, like we were saying in the last episode, or like, he's just choosing not to move. You know what I mean? There's no harm in not moving, other than that you look shady, but he's not gonna make a step because people either the one above his head is just gonna come for his neck, or the people come for his neck because he's not with the people. You know what I mean? It's one or the other, and he's just choosing not to move, which is really getting us to be like, well, why haven't you moved?
Yeah.
Why aren't you? You look like you were nudging in that right direction, but then you decided that's a little too close, and then decided to pull back because he knows if he sides, he's gonna get looked at for still working on Superman and all this other stuff.
Yeah, working on Superman. Obviously doing his job for the company, but then siding with the writers. You're not being a company man and sticking with the company. Like I said, between a rock and a hard place, I get it. Stay neutral is fine. But stay neutral when you have times to, pick a side, it makes it bad for you.
Yeah.
Like, just don't talk.
Yeah, basically.
Talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Talk about, promoting, your Creature Commandos if you need to. No, that's going to obviously make things look weird. Stay off Twitter. Martin Scorsese is not out there fucking tweeting every fucking day. You know what I mean?
I don't even think he knows how to use Twitter.
Leonardo DiCaprio is not tweeting every fucking day.
Yeah.
People are not tweeting every fucking day as much as he is. There is some that do. You have some famous people that stay on Twitter. They're always tweeting, whatever.
That's what I would say, man. Like he's the only one that I know that's like consecutively pushing out tweets and responding to people because he, quote unquote, has free time to do that. But I'm like, well, you have free time for this, but you could be talking about more important things, or you could be shutting the fuck up and working in silence so we don't aim this thing at you where now you feel like you have to respond a type of way. But he's not gonna do that. He's just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna talk to my fans until a Snyder someone comes along and it like throws dirt on me, and then I'm gonna respond back angrily, like
like a sassy tweet or like something fucking edgy or whatever. Your mom's basement, like, bro.
It's time to just shut the fuck up.
Your boy's giving us ammo, dog.
It's not my boy. He's your boy.
Hey, you writing for the Flash?
That doesn't mean
that's your boy.
No. You like the Suicide Squad. He's your boy. He's your boy, not mine.
The Suicide Squad is not a bad movie. Okay, but fine. I'll take that. That's a good comeback.
There you go.
Right, good job. Moving on. Somebody that is afraid of AI, though, is James Cameron. So we did hear that he is working.
Terminator.
He's been working on a new Terminator film.
Yes.
3 months into writing a new Terminator film.
Okay.
But he insists on waiting until he sees how AI unfolds in the real world. So he says in this quote, because he was at Dell Tech World, and he basically confirmed that he's been working on a new Terminator for the past 3 months. And is just waiting to see how it furthers. He wound up saying in his quote, saying that I feel like one of the major motivations on this film, or coming back to the hopefully franchise, was to explore the human relationship within artificial intelligence. I don't feel we did that in Dark Fate. I feel that we set the stage, or we set the table for that exploration, and that exploration would take place in a second film and a third film, and we know exactly where we're going to take the idea. What we wanted to get in the first movie was the idea that it's going to keep happening. The names will change, but the basic conflict is going to continue to take place until it gets resolved one way or another. What do you think about that one?
I like this idea. but it confirms what we kind of already knew. He's trying to do a new trilogy, and Dark Fate kind of set the stage, like he said.
Yeah.
So he's trying to do 2 more that kind of wrap the story up, which is fine, I guess. But I like the idea. I don't like waiting and him being afraid of AI. I think that's kind of dumb. That is very like Reddit aliens are real type shit. Like that's not how I don't think this is how this is gonna play out. But I like the idea of him waiting a bit, but don't let this fictional thing, or not fictional, but don't let this thing that could happen influence your writing. You know what I mean? That's kind of weird. If you're stopping writing, stop it because of the strike. Don't stop it because you think AI is gonna advance. You know, that's fucking weird.
It's a scary thought. It's a scary thought.
It is, but at the same time, like I don't think that's necessary to just pump the brakes. Like it's until
what if he makes a mad disrespectful script about AI, and then AI takes over the world, and they're like, who wrote this? And it's James Cameron's name at the bottom, and they're like, find him. They bring him to the overlord of all technology, the AI master, Skynet, and then they fucking pop a bullet in his brain, all because he wrote a script that disses AI, bro.
At that point, that'd be kind of poetic. I think that would be.
Oh shit!
That would really set the table. I think like
that's a movie.
Yeah,
is that a movie?
Yeah, that would be it. He'd be like, oh shit, Skynet is a fitting name. Pop pop pop. Like I can see that happening. If I remember, like that'd be kind of cool.
You know what? Never say never with your mind. He even goes a little bit further, talks about, his previous thoughts on AI. He says, well, I'm not afraid, but I'm certainly pretty concerned about the potential for misuse of AI. I think AI can be great, but also it could literally be the end of the world. He says, you talk to all the AI scientists, and I know a bunch of them, and every time I put my hand up at their seminars or something, they just start laughing. Oh, that's the Skynet guy. Sure, we really want to hear from you.
That's the point
guy. The point is that no technology has ever not been weaponized, and do we really want to be fighting something smarter than us that isn't us on our own world? I don't think so. He also says, look, an AI could have taken over the world and already be manipulating it, and we just don't know because it would have control over all the media and everything. And what better explanation for how absurd everything is right now, because nothing makes a damn bit of sense to me. I don't know about you. Yeah. James Cameron's off his rocker for sure.
Yeah, no. See, that's what I'm saying. The quote is long as shit, so we're not even gonna continue to read this motherfucker. But like, that's what I'm saying. He's tripping out for a little bit. As far as Terminator, the franchise goes, I'm excited for a new one.
Yeah, because I believe in Dark Fate, Skynet wasn't existing. It was a different one, right? Because they prevented Skynet, but a different entity took over.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Like, I like the idea of the future constantly changing because the people in the future go to the past to fuck it up.
Yeah, the butterfly effect.
But it shows that like it's also inevitable. You know what I mean?
That's like, it's something like it's a point in time that always needs to happen.
Yeah, and like it'll happen regardless, but it just keeps changing, which I really fucking enjoy. I think that's a dope fucking concept.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I kind of felt was going on with the earlier ones. Like, with the first one, you get it. Skynet's coming. We gotta save the mom because John Connor doesn't exist. That was their first idea, and then she has the baby with the baby daddy, and then the second one, she's just raising him on his own, trying to be wary, while AI is also coming to a fault because of the arm that kind of laid out in the first one. You know what I mean? That's how they got the robot arm. And then in the third one, it isn't about John Connor anymore. It's about who he works with and who the generals in there are, because they showed that he's kind of irrelevant at that point. Mm-hmm. And then the fourth one, what happened in the fourth one? Shut up. They're already at war.
Yeah, makes
sense. And then the fifth one, I didn't watch the fifth one, but in Dark Fate, it's different because they killed John Connor. So it's not about John Connor anymore. It's about someone else and them creating AI and so on and so forth. It's just, I like that idea that it's constantly changing, and it's just them trying to prevent the inevitable even though that's not the case. I
Yeah.
love that shit. I love the concept of that. That's fucking cool.
No better way to say it. I think it was cool. I thought the premise was cool with Dark Fate. I know a lot of people didn't like the execution. You can't please everybody. I personally liked it. I think it was setting something different, though it did take a lot of tropes from what came before it, obviously, and just try to, make it. It basically The Force Awakened. You know what I mean? Like, it's The Force Awakens of the Terminator franchise. They basically just played it safe, try to keep to the old school, but also try to make it a little different.
Can't be too different.
Yeah, no, it was too different for the crowd. So, I'm just excited for a Terminator movie. I think, and then hearing that Schwarzenegger's not coming back too, like I said in the previous episode, go check it out if you guys haven't seen it. But my hot take is Arnold definitely destroyed the franchise, and I think that's his fault. So if you guys haven't heard it, I think it's in last week's episodes. Go check it out. It's still up. Moving on though. So you've seen Uncut Gems, right?
Yeah.
So the Safdie brothers, who brought that movie to life, Josh and Benny Safdie, are going to split up. I mean, it's not the first time that they split up, but they're going to split up yet again to make their own little side projects. This is coming after having some controversy surrounding their producing partner, Sebastian Bear McClard. Now, some people are speculating that that's the reason, that they just don't want to do things together so it doesn't look suspicious. But they're basically going to break off. We got Josh going ahead and working with Adam Sandler for the Netflix film. Going to be working with Megan Thee Stallion and Ben Affleck. And the other brother will be making an A24 film with no name to it just yet, but we'll keep you guys updated. You've seen Uncut Gems, so you know what they produced together. I haven't, honestly.
I haven't seen Uncut Gems,
I
bro?
haven't seen it yet.
Oh, fuck.
I think I watched the first 10 minutes and I was disinterested for some reason.
It's so good. It's like, I don't know what it is, but Adam Sandler's been on a roll.
I know, with like serious movies, and I've been hearing that he's actually been killing it, but I don't know if it's just me and the fact that I grew up with him always being this goofy guy, funny guy.
Have you seen Hubie Halloween?
Yeah.
That one. I know that one's dumb, but that one makes me laugh. That one's like classic Adam Sandler to me.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I always seen him as this goofy guy, Big Daddy, all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so to see him in a serious role for me, it's very hard, and I think that's something that's kind of holding him back. I think there's a lot of people that can't see him try. It's kind of like when Jim Carrey tried to be serious at one point too, and try to make serious movie, and people were just like, "What the fuck?" Have you seen 23?
No. With Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's a very serious movie, and it's very hard to take him serious within the movie. But
right. No,
he does a good job, but it's hard to take him serious. So I think that's why I haven't seen Uncut Gems, but I've heard about this duo, but they just been making movies that haven't really been interesting me. So I was hoping to hear your thoughts and maybe them splitting up. Well, like, is that going to be a problem? Have you seen any of their solo films?
I haven't seen them individually. No, I want to now, just to see if there's a different in touches and stuff. It's one of those things where I feel like it'll either be really good for them or really bad for them. Like, do they work better together, or when they're separate, does one shine more than the other? Because working for A24 is fucking phenomenal. That's scary movies and all that other good shit. Yeah. So who knows if he's just the one working for that company is either really good or it can be really bad, despite it being A24.
Well, A24 produced Uncut Gems as well, so they have a working relationship.
Well, yeah, they have a history with them, but that's what I mean. They were together.
Yeah. Like,
who's to say them being separate really brings out the flaws in both of them? Because I haven't seen their projects. That's just my thing. Like, who knows? Who's to say? Until I see them, I have no definitive answer on that.
That's what I'm trying to see too, because one's going to A24, one's going to Netflix. So is this the brothers picking what they're more comfortable with, or are they saying, "Hey, I'm not so comfortable with this one. Let me take a stab at this one. I'm not so comfortable with this one." You know what I mean? And trying to better themselves. And will we see that difference?
That's what I want to know. Or if they're better together. Because, I mean, I don't think you've ever heard of the Russo brothers, like, not working together. Like, how would you know if they fare to get better individually than together? We know what they can do together. But what can they do if they're separate?
Probably like the Wachowski brothers or siblings now. Like I think together they make phenomenal movies. Like I think the last movie that I thought was pretty good from them was obviously Jupiter Ascending. I know a lot of people didn't take a chance on that movie, which is crazy because people clamor for like new original movies all the time, and that one was like new. But separately, when they wound up making their own movie, like the Wachowski sister wound up making Matrix 4 without the brother, and look how that one turned out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that movies can suffer creative differences because sometimes it's one brother that's like, no, add this, and then the other brother has to be the one.
Yeah.
Kind of like our dynamic here, and that's why I kind of like bringing up these topics too, because you can kind of reflect and look and be like, okay, one strength is over here, one strength is over there, you know, but can they do it on their own though? You know,
that's what I want to know with this too. So could be interesting, could be a dumpster fire. Either way, pretty fucking interesting idea to want to do.
Josh, I have to tell you something. We're splitting up. I'm getting my own podcast now. Just kidding.
Good luck finding an editor.
Damn, I got to do it all myself now. Moving on. That was a joke, guys. We're not doing that. But moving on though, something that is happening is the Creed legacy lives on. We're getting a Boom Studios and MGM collaboration to bring to life Creed 3's spin-off comic book that is supposed to lead on to LaToya Morgan's character within the movie, Creed's daughter, and her endeavors as becoming a boxer.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be a prequel to what I'm assuming the next set of Creed trilogy movies will be.
That'd be fucking cool.
Also, maybe reaching into maybe like the anime show that he was talking about as well. Who knows? But he's getting a comic book.
That's cool. That's actually kind of dope. I'm kind of excited that they're going this route and expanding. You know what I mean? They're going like the Star Wars MCU route, kind of.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking sick. I would not have pictured this as a franchise to make it that far, but that's cool.
Yeah. To be honest, when Creed first came out, I didn't think it was something that I like whoever drew him. The artist is pretty good. Did you see? Were you able to see that one?
Yeah, that's cool.
Looks good. Yeah, I honestly didn't think this was a franchise that was gonna make it like this. This Michael B. Jordan has a strong eye for like shit like this, and I know that hearing the evolution that you told me, from Creed 1 where he was scared to get hit, like he was afraid, into the second one, giving it a little bit more, and I seen the movies too. The evolution's crazy. And then now with Creed 3 where he gave not only his directorial debut but also gave a fucking great performance, great action scenes, not enough boxing, but great action scenes nonetheless, and now going to be giving it off to, a younger female actress who, in my opinion, will make an interesting story. She's deaf, has to deal with some kind of struggle that she needs to overcome, and also box at the same time. Oh man, honestly, it doesn't sound like a bad movie.
Yeah, no, that sounds fucking cool. I was about to say that too. Like she's deaf, and she has to also live with that. So who knows if I can imagine her wearing hearing aids during the fight, but who's to say if she gets hit, they get knocked out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so will her technique be more technical? She just has to watch her opponent closely because she can't. I understand hearing isn't a necessary thing for boxing, but I mean, I think it is too, because I mean, you need to know what the ref is counting and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Not just that, but when your eyesight goes because they punch you too many times in the face. Hearing is a something that you need.
Yeah, so like who knows if her thing is more technical and stuff, and I kind of want to see how she overcomes that.
They're gonna be like, go for the highs, go for the highs.
Another comic book is like just the entry, but hopefully the movies show that struggle too, because that'd be fucking sick.
To be honest, like I hearing the comic books and everything, and though I'm not a big fan of anime, I might just watch the show just to be caught up, and I might have to bite the bullet on the animation depending.
Cool.
I'm hoping that it's a good animated series where, you know, I don't have to bite the bullet and feel like I have to push myself through. I hope they make it like anime, but also, you know, very clean looking to the point where like it's new, it's different. You know what I mean? But hearing this, I might just read this comic book too. Like I don't read a lot of comic books, but this is something like I'm literally genuinely interested in. It sounds like something that unique that we haven't seen or heard about before. Yeah. You know what I mean? So very good. Good on ya, Michael B. Jordan. Are you gonna be looking out for this stuff, Josh?
Yeah, well, fuck yeah. That's fucking cool. I need the anime now.
I needed it yesterday, please.
For real.
But with that, that's our last topic for this episode. We talked about a lot. If there's anything that we missed, any movies that you guys want us to review, something that we should have said but we didn't, you want to help us out in a big way, Josh, let them know where they can let us know.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. You can engage with us there. We post when new episodes are up. Go check us out. Let us know about any news or movies you want us to cover. If you want to listen to us on the go, Spotify and Apple Podcasts or anywhere you get your podcast at FilmBros Podcast. We're on a couple more sites, so go check us out if you guys don't own any of those platforms. If you want to support us, links in our bios, Buzzsprout. You can subscribe there if you'd like. You get perks. You get shout-outs in our episodes. You wouldn't want to miss out for sure. When it's all said and done, check out our YouTube. Subscribe there at FilmBros Podcast.
Yeah, and with that being said, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.